All right. So, Jonathan Dean here with the Jonathan Dean team in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the surrounding area. This video I'm putting together today is to outline what your daily routine should look like. So, let's jump into it. So, if you're like me, you probably want to totally own your day, crush your tasks, and grow your business like a boss. So, don't worry, I've got you covered. We're going to walk through a killer daily routine that's going to set you up for success. And trust me, it's definitely not as hard as it sounds. So, step one, first things first, you got to open your CRM and get into it. This is your command center. You got to head straight to your calendar and knock out all the tasks that you have set on your plate for the day. Calls, emails, follow ups, get them done early so you can feel like you're already winning. A quick tip I have is to make sure that you're not just blasting through these. After every conversation, make sure you jot down some notes in the CRM. You want to make sure you track every little detail and save it for later. It's good when you can reference back to them when you get in conversation with your clients. If there's updates you need to make to your contacts, make sure you do that. Or if they've got a new email or something of that nature, you want to make sure that everything stays up to date. And don't forget about handwritten notes either. These things are sometimes forgotten, but they actually hold a pretty special place in a lot of people's heart. And they yield an amazing return when you take a few minutes to write something out, a little personal touch to send to those people that you have. Next step is you want to dive into MLS. So I always get straight to my favorite searches. I'm looking for new listings for all of my clients. Send them over to them ASAP. Don't just hit send though, okay? Sending over an email is the most basic part of it. If a listing actually fits what they're looking for, take a few minutes. Give them a call or shoot them a text message and let them know why that house is being sent to them. And they'll likely be excited about that. You want to try to build some of that excitement in them. Make sure you're also keeping an eye on your preferred zip codes and those areas that you have the most buyers in and the areas that you would like to work in the most. You need to stay incredibly up to date on what's happening in those spots. All right, next thing's one of the most important parts of your business is going to be your top 50. So that's your SOI. This is your inner circle of people. These are the ones that already know, like, and trust you and that are referring you business. If you have any birthdays in there, house anniversaries, whatever it is, take time to make contact with them. The best thing to do is to have contact with them at least once a month. So an easy way to do that is to set a goal. So the goal should be to talk to 2 to 3 people from your top 50 every single day, whether it's through text, phone call, grabbing a coffee, hitting a lunch, whatever it is. Make sure you're staying in touch. By the end of the month, if you've done 2 to 3 people per day, you should have knocked out the entire list. Remember, the idea from this is to make sure that you're building deeper relationships with them. It's not just you're checking off their name. Step 4 is to get back into the CRM. Yes, I know, but we're not done there yet. It's one of the things we spend the most time in. So you're going to want to go ahead and review all of your A leads. So these are your folks that are ready to move and do something within the next 30 days. You need to be in touch with them at least once a week, if not more. Make sure you don't push those follow-up dates too far out. If you miss out on a hot property or something like that because you weren't staying in touch with them, it's always a bummer. And make sure you leave notes as you're talking to them and try to make sure you keep it in your CRM so everything's clear and easy to find really quickly. Next up, you're going to talk to your B leads. So those are people that are 30 to 90 days out. So you should be connecting with them about twice a month. It's not nearly as frequent as your A leads, but you definitely don't want to forget them. Remember, it's about pipeline. So having good contact with each one of these A, B, and C clients is going to help you to have a good pipeline. The last one is going to be your C leads. These are the folks that need, a little bit less attention. They're typically 90 days or more out from doing a deal. So try to make sure that you touch base with them at least once a month. Keep the connection warm and make sure that they're not forgetting about you. You got to make sure that you're the first person they think about when it is time to move forward. And again, add any new leads that come up, any changes that you have in the leads pipeline. If they decide, hey, I'm actually ready to do something and they were a C lead originally, make sure you transfer them over there to become an A lead now. Next thing is your transactions. So you want to make sure that you check on your listings. We like to follow a 10-10 rule. So what that means that basically if a listing's been on the market for more than 10 days and had no showings, it's likely time to reduce the price. And if you've had 10 showings and no offers, it's basically the same thing. It's probably time to make an adjustment in that price. Now for your buyer leads, your buyer clients that you have pending, you want to make sure that you follow up with them, keep in touch with the title company, the attorney, the lender, everyone. Make sure everyone is communicating with each other and everything keeps going smoothly. Keep track of your contract dates and any action items that you have going on with that so that nothing slips through the cracks. If a deal has closed, first off, congratulations. Make sure you take time to celebrate and move that transaction over in the closed business tab. And again, same thing. Don't forget about them. Keep in touch. All right. Last, but definitely not least, this is step 6. This is your 4 pillars. These are the different parts of your business that bring you income. You want to make sure you focus on one of these each day of the week. And on Fridays, it's time to kind of follow up on everything you've been working on. So here's my breakdown for me personally. Monday is all about SOI. So I try to think about SOI as not just being my top 50, but it's also just everyone I know. So let's say I have 350 people in my SOI, and 50 of those are in my top 50. So I've still got 300 people left to contact. So I'll split it up. Talk to about 25 people each week, and you'll want to try to connect with them at least once a quarter. So if you pick 25 a week, you'll be able to chisel away at it and hit all 300 of them. And that's also just spreading it out a little bit. So it's not just I got to make 300 phone calls during this quarter, and it's really hard to jump into it. Tuesday is social media day, so I try to make sure everything's scheduled out for social media things that I'm doing, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, YouTube. Take Tuesdays and I map out what's being scheduled when, what's being posted, and all that stuff is happening on Tuesdays. Wednesday, it's about agent-to-agent connections. So whether or not that's agents in my market or it's agents outside of my market. So in those feeder markets, these are referral agents. This is where you're building good relationships with people that could potentially send you business, and you can also send business to them as well. It's all about growing your network here. Thursday, I focus on my primary area of business. I want to make sure I know everything that's happening there. As I said in the beginning of this, I'm looking at what's hitting the market when it's happening. And Thursday is my day to put some extra research into it. So I know what's happening in my market regarding interest rates, regarding new listings, what's been going on. And then I'm going to use this time also to plan for any open house or anything like that. And Friday, like I said, Friday is follow-up day. It's for you to tie up any loose ends, finish the calls, making sure that everything's set for the weekend and also planned for the next week as well. So that's it. I promise you, if you stick to this daily routine, you'll be laying the groundwork for extremely good success. And yes, it might take a few weeks to get a hang of it, but trust me, once this becomes your rhythm, you'll see the results. So let's make it happen. Thanks, y'all. Thanks. Appreciate you being here.